Chapter 22. Hugo. Pap perched at the end of his table. How is that a good suggestion? Don't you want more room for the work you do here? His voice got louder. Wouldn't that be better than a statue? He shouted. Or a plaque? He threw his papers down. Jane tugged at Pap's arm to calm him. It worked. Mrs. K stood up. She reminisced. You know, this place was wonderful when it opened. Beautiful. People in the group murmured in agreement. I remember I came here with Mr. K. We didn't live here then. Was a dream. We went to the chip shop and then 3rd Avenue to look over and throw chips at the tiny ant people below. And now the try is falling apart. Pap jumped in. See, thank you, Mrs. K. I knew you would understand. He turned to look at Hugo. And you want a statue? I'm not finished, Mrs. K continued sternly. So I think something that brings back the love and glamour would be great. I like the statue. It's positive. Pap looked confused and exasperated. Mrs. K laughed to herself. Barry stood up. I hear you, Joe. Bermudas could do with some work. We get it all on this estate. Noise, pollution, burnt out cars, people peeing in the stairwells. We need more cameras. Pap nodded vigorously. But £5,000 is not going to fix that. Plus, the council should be doing that anyway. Hugo nodded vigorously. Pap caught his eye. His anger rose. All right, Hugo, 2 surnames. Since you're apparently so rich, you pay for it yourself. The crowd gasped. Hugo replied slowly. Look, I don't know why you think I've got money. Don't let my name fool you, Joe. I just think it's important that we celebrate people and places where we can. With the try's imminent anniversary, we should celebrate her, all her corners, her beauty, the best times, the tumultuous times. Let's shout out, Silvertoe. He coughed loudly. Serena leaned into him. He continued, we get a statue lovingly crafted by someone like Lavenderstick or Clockenston. It will draw people from outside the estate. They will take note of the conditions and the community spirit and will unlock more money. It's like my antiques. You have to spend money to make money. So let's keep on trying for the try. The crowd murmured their approval. You're bloody trying, Hugo. Trying my patience. Pap slammed his fist on the table. I looked away from the video and over at Norva, who had pursed her lips and shut her eyes. She shook her head to dismiss what she was hearing. Pap looked angry. Really angry. OK, everyone. I think we've heard all sides, said Charity Jane nervously, trying to break the tension. Let's get this one to a vote. Exciting. We have 2 options. Those in favour of investing in Joseph's upkeep plan, raise your hands. The camera ripped around the room. Approximately 43% of people had their hands up. Now, those who support Hugo's Silvertoe statue, raise your hands. Jane looked nervous. George made an awkward face to the camera. He whipped his phone around the room. 51% of hands. I couldn't account for the other 6%. It was close, certainly, but not that close. Hugo had it. The hub was uncomfortably silent. Someone at the back cut through it. He has a point, Joseph. There's not enough money to play with to make a difference. So let's take a punt on this. This is his world. He gets this stuff. Pap exploded. So what? That's it? I'm not a good enough caretaker for you now? Why don't you just let Hugo run this place? Yeah, that's a good plan. Let him do it. I've been here for 25 years. I grew up here. Try through and through. I did my best for you, all of you. This guy only moved here for jokes, for fun, for the experience. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, you do now. Our lives are just a tourist attraction for him, a human zoo. This is your Keane, he spat at the room. George loved that last line and mimicked it perfectly. Pap was foaming at the mouth. The camera moved back to Hugo. He looked weak and shivered in his seat. Hugo looks mash up, right? Said George. I reckon he was on his special water, sozzled probs. It looks like heat stroke to me, I said. I looked at the other people in the room. Everyone who could look red looked very red indeed. Everyone fanned themselves in the heat. Joseph, yes, you know, I was inspired to move here for the architecture, Hugo stated cautiously, but I absolutely love it here. I'm a true resident. I contribute. Pap snorted. Oh, you contribute, do you? He shot a look at Jane, who started to interject but decided to look silently at the floor. I love the community, Hugo continued. I want the best for it. I'm just trying to think long term here. Pap was furious. So I'm short-sighted now? Am I blind? Well, I see you, Hugo. I see you clearly. You've all gone mad. Hugo, you'd better watch yourself, mate. I mean that. So help me. Stay out of my way.